You are listening to
the WrestleGeddon podcast.
the WrestleGeddon podcast.
What's up, everybody? It is Friday night. You know what that means. It's the WrestleGeddon podcast coming to you live. YouTube.com/ForTheCollection and over on Facebook.com/WrestleGeddon Pod. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Chris the Heat Matthews, joined each and every week by your other host, the Tennessee Jesus, Carl Crossland. Carl, how the hell are you this week?
I'm doing great, man. Hitting you with a little bit of double C.
Some vitamin C. Vitamin C, the other vitamin D.
Vitamin C.
Oh man, it has been a week of wrestling. A lot of stuff going on this week. So we got AEW Revolution.
A lot of big cage matches. We had the Lego Taipei match with a friend of the show, Rico Wiley. Had a cage match on Revolution and a cage match on Raw. It's like fucking cage match is back.
Was that one the Rico Wiley one? Was that one this week or?
Oh, I don't know. You shared it with me. Was it last week?
I don't know. I know he just posted the video, like less than 24 hours ago. So it might have been from last weekend, wasn't it?
It might have been last weekend, but still, you know, it was uploaded on the YouTube. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
anything said live. I don't think it aired on anything.
So,
huh?
But, it was in Texas, so
yeah.
But yeah, our friend of the show, Rico Wiley, defended the Warrior Wrestling Alliance Innovation title against Jack Lovecraft in a taped fist Lego match. So, which we talked about on the show, the Taipei Lego death match, which if you've seen the movie Kickboxer, that's pretty much what they did. The tapes wrap their fists up, dip them in some hot glue, and then dip it in different glass or nails and stuff like that. Or if you've seen Hot Shots Part 2, it was gummy bears, M&Ms, and a few different other types of candy.
Yeah, they did it a couple times in ECW. I remember Balls Mahoney and who was it? It was Balls Mahoney and somebody. I know they did one. I remember it being on ECW with the glass.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember it because I remember it now that you say something about that you're talking about it.
It was like another guy, kind of the shape of Balls Mahoney. I want to say. Trying to think who. I know it wasn't Bam Bam.
No, it was
Was it Blue Benny?
The first one was Axel Rotten and Ian Rotten.
Axel Rotten. Didn't Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten do one? Everybody's thinking that up.
With Balls and Axel.
I could have swore Balls Mahoney. I could just be making it up. It's one of those things where you know how your memory goes as you get older.
Yeah.
And I'm getting older. But I could have swore it was like Balls Mahoney. But I could be thinking Axel Rotten because Axel Rotten doesn't look too far off from Balls Mahoney. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong.
But he did actually Extreme Reunion event on April 28th, 2012. defeating Balls Mahoney. Actually, that might be something else.
Yeah, it's all right, Chris. I'm probably wrong.
So I know, yeah, because I could see getting Balls in there too, because Axel and Balls teamed together quite a bit.
Yeah, that was like a feud. But I didn't have Axel in my mind. I had Balls Mahoney in my mind for some reason. And it could have been Axel. And then I just, you know, thought it was Balls Mahoney. Just, like I said, memory's getting. I never like went back and rewatched the match or nothing. I just remember seeing it.
Yeah, it looks like they did it again in 2005 with
One Night Stand.
Axel and Ian Rotten. It was an event called November Rain, REIGN.
Yeah, they did it. It was like around One Night Stand. I think like there was like some other ECW people that did their own like little show.
Yep. So there's at least been a couple, but none of them with Legos on their fist.
Yeah,
which is so it was pretty cool. Pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, it was it's pretty cool.
You can find that on Rika's official YouTube channel, Barker the Bizarre. Just search Rika Wildly, you'll be able to find it. So awesome.
Wish we had something like that around here, man. That'd be pretty fun to go see.
I know, right?
I like a good indie show.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of stuff coming up the next couple of weeks. I think Deadlock Pro Wrestling is at the Durham Armory again this weekend. Then there's like a few other shows popping up. There's actually one out in Clayton that has the Barbarian, the Mountie, and a couple other guys on there too. Rock and Roll Express, Kerry Morton, which is funny because one of the guys that I work with, his brother is actually one of the guys that's involved with that promotion. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I find they sent me the flyer for it. It's the Ivan Koloff Memorial Tag Team Tournament.
And kind of random.
Yeah, so you've got the Barbarian, the Rock and Roll Express, Brock Anderson, Shane Douglas, C.W. Anderson, Lodi, the Mountie, and Tugboat are all going to be there.
Well,
that's March.
I don't know about
end of the week.
I don't know about Rock and Roll, but we got the Pop and Roll Express this week. The random band entrance.
That was a good segue. I didn't even have anything pulled up for it yet. Oh, for fuck's sake. It was Ears for Ears. Because everybody just wants to rule the world.
There used to be growing up, I used to listen to this like Christian alternative band that was kind of like a pop punk type. And they had one of the chorus, one of their songs was like about like the 80s or whatever, and it was like, and my favorite band will always be Tears for Fears, and I'm gonna wear pink toques to the prom. Oh, hold on. It went. I'm only gonna pierce my left ear, and I've been working on this mustache all summer long. And my favorite band will always be Tears for Fears, and I'm gonna wear pink toques to the prom.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Your turn to go first this week. I went first last week. So
Okay. I did have two songs lined up in case you stole mine. But since you're not here to steal it, because I'm going second, I'm going with Mad World.
nice. That's a good one. That is a good one. I went with Break It Down Again.
Break it down again.
So break it down.
I actually heard like um some newer stuff from them because I never I'm a little too I was born in '86, so I didn't hear a lot of them. So I knew like the big hits, like Everybody Wants to Rule the World and
Yeah. Thanks, Stevie.
the Shout, 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 Shout It Out. So it was actually good to listen to them.
Awesome. Yeah, I like Tears for Fears. That's some good stuff. All right. So who we got for next week?
Next week, I guess we're going to have to kind of figure out what we're going to include and not include with this artist. But we got Joe Walsh.
The guy from America's Most Wanted.
No, Joe Walsh. He's a famous rock star. He has a lot of solo stuff. He was in the Eagles, like the Hotel California, and the album after that. Um, he was in like a bunch of bands,
Mm.
and he did solo stuff. His most like popular solo stuff is probably "Life's Been Good to Be So Hard," and I want to say Rocky Mountain Way, but that might be with another band that I'm not because he's been in like a bunch of bands too. It's one of the people's kind of hard to know what is his solo stuff and what is like his stuff in bands.
Mm.
And of course, Hotel California and
Yeah.
Life in the Fast Lane and stuff like that.
Notable solo song is Rocky Mountain Way, Life's Been Good, A Life of Illusion, Turn to Stone, Help Me Through the Night, The Confessor, All Night Long, Analog Man is what popped up.
Yeah. You probably heard Rocky Mountain Way. Like when you hear it, you probably know it.
Probably. I probably heard a few of these. I just don't remember. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll give it a go. We'll just have to I'll just have to be
We'll exclude Eagles and all the other brands for sure, right?
yeah.
Okay.
As much as I like going down a dark desert highway with the cool wind in my hair. I love California. It's such a good song. It reminds me, like when I'm listening to it, it reminds me of that really bad movie that Dan Aykroyd wrote and directed, that Nothing But Trouble. Like I don't know why. It just like every time I hear that song, that movie pops into my head. And I don't even think that song's on the damn soundtrack. Oh, awesome
The
stuff.
Shining always pops in my head, but that was definitely not a hotel in California.
Oh, I can see that too. Well, oh, awesome stuff. All right, let's get into the instant replay. Where's my thing? Here it is. Are you ready? All right. So I got a couple news tidbits here before we get into everything else. First of all, wanted to send a big congratulations out to the natural disasters, earthquake and typhoon. They're the latest inductees into the WWE Hall of Fame. So, on the plus side, we still have
Are they in that solo?
No.
No? That's great.
Yeah. Like I say, unfortunately, we still have a typhoon here who will be there to in person to accept the honor and give a speech and stuff. John Tenda passed away years ago, but I like the natural disasters growing up. Like, I really enjoyed that tag team, especially obviously when they were heel. As a kid, you don't really like the bad guys too much, but when they broke away and turned into more of a face tag team, they had that feud with Money Inc.
Yeah.
Like, everyone loved not Demolition. I was about to say Demolition. Everyone loved the natural disasters.
Yeah. Yeah. And that and their solo stuff too was pretty good when matches with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. The 80s. That was a big
You had
thing.
that whole Evolution thing at Tugboat comes in as like Hogan's friend, and like Hogan gets destroyed by Earthquake, and then like they go through that whole. I think it still pisses me off to this day. So they go through that whole thing where like they give you this address to send like your well wishes to the Hulkster, and then you'll get like a postcard back. So I never got my postcard back, and it might have been because we moved. And like now that I'm older and I think about it, that's probably what happened, is because we moved, and probably showed up after we moved. But but you go through that whole thing, and like have Tugboat like trying to fight for his friend, like get some sort of vengeance for his friend, and then he ends up getting like destroyed by Earthquake too, and then he comes back as Typhoon. And it's like, all right, cool. And then you just go on this like big like freaking rampage and destroy everything. So,
back when wrestling was bigger than life.
Yeah. So awesome. I loved it. I should have got those figures for a figure of the week this week. I didn't think about it. But that's all good though. Another little bit of WWE news. Apparently, rumor has it that WWE is interested in Jeff Cobb.
For what?
For what?
Mm-hmm.
To sign Jeff Cobb to come wrestle.
Well, I guess.
That's what they want him for.
I don't know. I'm
Start
tired of
the official WWE OnlyFans. It's the wrong person to start it with. But yeah, that's I'm interested in that if that actually does come to fruition. Jeff Cobb is an awesome athlete, great wrestler. US fans, of course, he did some work in Ring of Honor. Recently on TV with AEW. That's probably like a year ago though, but most notably, a lot of us got exposure to him as Matanza Cueto in Lucha Underground. Dario Cueto's psychotic brother. So.
Yeah. I don't know. That's got a lot of new people in WWE right now. It's like,
yeah,
we really need another new guy. A new old guy.
A new old guy. I just think it's because you have guys that are like, it's being rumored that Shinsuke has opted not to re-sign a new contract.
I don't blame him.
I don't either. So
He hasn't done anything relevant. in like a
Not
year.
since his NXT run, honestly. But I know his Shinsuke's brother recently passed away too, and he's trying to wants to go be with his family and stuff to
Yeah.
go through all that as well. So, well, I'm sure wherever Shinsuke ends up, a lot of people will follow him anyway. I'll be one of them too because Shinsuke is awesome. So, so got that. They did drop a little teaser video tonight. A couple of them actually. There was one that had like there's like a black screen with like smoke and stuff on there, and the number 4 popped up on it. Not 100% sure what that's going to lead to. A lot of people are saying it might be the return of Aleister Black. I'm kind of wondering if it's got anything to do with the Wyatts. That could be a possibility as well. So there's a couple of theories floating around with that. And then they showed another video package tonight. The potential debut of Rey Fenix. So this one,
Or
definitely Phoenix. So,
or it's Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash in WO4
Could be. You never know. Who knows? My God, the Hulkster's back. Hollywood is here. Oh, awesome stuff. What else do we have tonight? Actually, yeah, let's kick it into the weekend review here. I wanted to circle back. We kind of talked about it a little bit last week while it was happening. But I want to circle back to the segment from SmackDown last week when between Bianca and Naomi, and then of course Jade coming back. I watched it again because I didn't have the audio on or anything while I was on, so I was just reading the subtitles and stuff. But I went back and rewatched it, and that was probably one of the best segments or best, I'll probably say one of the best dialogue segments between two WWE women in a long time, women superstars.
Yeah. It's like the first, besides the Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Dominic love triangle, it's kind of the first, like, interesting. Well, I don't know. It kind of sounds bad. But it's the first, like, good storyline that we've had with the women this year. And even a while, you know what I mean? It's like it's either like somebody's won some kind of like the Bailey damage control stuff. That's like last year. It's been a while since we've had a good women's storyline, and I'm for it.
Me too. Just the whole thing with like Bianca, not Bianca, Naomi, just breaking down. She's like, I did it for you. Like, she was using you. Like, and I did it to help you. I did it for you. You're my friend. Like, all this stuff. Like, it did kind of give me like Rikishi vibes. Like, I did it for The Rock.
Yeah.
But it came off better than that.
No, for sure. And then it's kind of like it's still leaving you in suspense because you still don't know where it's going to go from there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure Naomi and Jade are probably going to have a match sooner than later. But also, Jade kind of has like this like me against the world type persona kind of going. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it'd be interesting, like, if Bianca does win at WrestleMania, maybe everybody was worried about Bianca turning on Jade. Maybe Jade turns on Bianca.
Yeah,
Uh,
could be too.
and maybe just pushed her over the edge. Whatever it is, I'm intrigued, and it's one of those things where um, another good thing about this is like who's gonna win because it's like all three of them you could see getting the win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. They did have an interview with Jade tonight on SmackDown, and she was asked, how did you know it was Naomi that attacked you? And she said, I saw her walking away. So that's
Saw the
still
lights,
kind of,
glowing lights.
I'd still think that kind of leaves it open because I've seen a couple things that kind of go, it could be a potential swerve type thing where it actually was Bianca wearing, or maybe they're both in on it or something, but
Well, I don't think Naomi would admit to it if it
yeah,
wasn't
that's true
her.
too. I think about it. So
Now it
that's
could
pretty tough.
be her and somebody else. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it could be, maybe it's not Bianca. Maybe it's like, a partner that Naomi's going to team up with, and then you have, uh,
The return of Tamina.
you never know.
That'd be a good way to bring up someone from NXT like Jada Parker or someone like that. Get them involved into the storyline and get them on the main roster and people so more familiar with them. So that's a possibility too. So. Awesome stuff there. Yeah, so I just want to circle back and touch on that because it was a great segment on SmackDown. Like you said, it's probably one of the more engaging storylines right now for the women's division, at least for WWE main roster anyway.
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw, we saw Rollins and Punk go at it inside the steel cage. Start to finish, that was an excellent match.
Yeah.
And then we saw the return of Roman at the end as well, trying to get his retaliation against Rollins.
Yeah. The only thing I loved it. It was good for TV. The only thing that I'm wondering, and I'm not Triple H or nothing, but there is no way that this is not the main event of WrestleMania.
It's got to be at least one of the nights.
No, I'm talking about this fucking needs to be night 2 of WrestleMania.
Close out night 2.
I mean, I like Jay. I like Gunther. I don't really care to see Cena versus Cody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I think
don't care to see that. You got the three biggest. You get the three biggest names on the roster right now, and the triple threat match. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
really? You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather watch this than anything else they're going to put on as like a main event.
I can see them doing because Jay and Gunther. I'm sure it's going to be a great match regardless because the last few matches that they've had have been great. I don't see that necessarily main eventing night 2. That's more of like a night 1 main event. And then the other side of that too is you still have Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton, which I don't think that's main eventing a night on WrestleMania. And I don't think they said that the women's Royal Rumble, goes to the main event of WrestleMania.
Well, so this is the thing is like here lately they've on WrestleMania and sometimes SummerSlam they call stuff like co-main events. So they'll have like 2 or 3 matches that are technically main events, but they're not the last match. So why are you calling it that? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm talking about this should be the like last. I'm trying to think of back of like any WrestleManias where you was anticipating a match more than the main event. Now I'm not talking about like the match being better than the main event because there's plenty of matches that were way better than the
Yeah.
main event. I'm just saying like thinking back, I'm thinking maybe the first or second Money in the Bank match maybe. Um,
Yeah.
it's been a while, you know what I mean?
Yep. And probably like
Uh,
even last year when you had Sammy and KO versus the Usos. Like I was looking forward to that match more so than anything else. The last year or the year before? I
that
think it was the year,
was the year before
I think it
last
was
year.
the year before. Yeah.
Last year was
Yeah,
Cody
last
and
year
Roman
was
night one, and the tag team of Rock and Cody and Roman main event both nights. It was Cody and Rock.
yeah, it was
Not
Cody and Roman were
Cody
the main
and
event night 2, then the tag match was night 1.
night one. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but the KO and Sammy versus the Usos was a match I was looking more
they
forward
were
to.
they were a main event that what name they were a main event
Oh, that's right, because they
that
closed out night 1. That's right.
yeah.
Yep. But I don't remember then. I know I was just looking forward to that one, but
Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to think back of like my own. I mean, I guess if you don't count the COVID year, like maybe the Funhouse match was more anticipated than the Graveyard match. I don't know.
yeah, because we didn't know exactly what we were getting with that Firefly Funhouse match,
Yeah,
compared to the Boneyard match. Like we kind of had like some idea of what we were going to get with that. It's Undertaker involved. It's a
yeah,
Boneyard match. So we knew it was going to be in a cemetery,
yeah,
and that was going to be something that be like a buried alive type stipulation, which essentially it was.
yeah,
Well, that Firefly Funhouse match is like, oh, like, what's this going to turn into? What's this going to be like? So I think that was
yeah,
the whole anticipation for that one.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm turned off by the whole Cody Rhodes John Cena thing. You got John Cena didn't even show up on fucking Raw to do anything. It's like, why
Yeah,
do we
he's
get
supposed
this
to be
dude in the main event if he's not even gonna show up?
on Raw next week.
Yeah, but all
The
right.
European tour. So
It's fucking Macaulay Culkin has been on damn more Raws than fucking John Cena this year. And he's in the main event fucking WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
the
Like
whole Culkin family has been on Raw more than John Cena has.
this is like it's a very Vince move. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to talk
Yeah,
about like, oh, like Vince would never turn Cena heel. Yeah, Vince probably would have to fucking put Cena in the main event at fucking WrestleMania versus
yeah,
having the three guys that's been on the fucking roster. Well, exclude Roman Reigns from that, but fucking CM Punk and Seth Rollins have been putting in the fucking work all year and had some of the best matches and one of the more like anticipated feuds. Um, it's just I don't know. To me, if they're making that the triple threat, like that has to be a main event. To me, like
yeah.
you're just you're stupid if you're not making that the main event. But they've been pissing me off here a lot lately. I might turn into an AEW mark just because like I was pissed at watching NXT, and then the whole John Cena that showing up on Raw pissed me off. Uh,
I think it's a good heel move for him not to show up like immediately the next night.
eh,
No.
he's not
I
a
think
heel.
hold him off for another week and let it sink in, let it simmer. So
Yeah, I don't care. He's not. He's not. He probably can't even be a good heel because he don't cuss or nothing anymore. So I don't know. Maybe he'll shave his
I'm
head bald.
interested in what they're going to do with his music. Because you can't use "My Time Is Now." Like, you can't use that. Like, you have to change it up. So they're going to have to take him back to Thugonomics or something completely new.
Nah,
I could see
it'd
him
probably
maybe
be something.
starting it off with "My Time Is Now" and then like just to get the boos from the fans.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but it's one of those things that I'm not interested in that at all. What else happened on Raw? I don't say some other. Oh, fucking! We had new luchadors show up.
Yep.
You see that?
Which everyone thought it was Chad Gable, but it wasn't Chad Gable. It was somebody
It was
else.
not Chad. It was not Chad Gable. It had to be somebody else. Gracias.
I guess they are trademarking a name for this new luchador. I believe what I saw earlier was Americano Grande.
Oh man, they should have went with Gracias.
So I was like, all right, I'll see where this is gonna go.
I like it. I'm down for it.
It's better than Mr. America.
I'm kind of wondering what's going on with the Judgment Day. Is Braun Breaker going to be the new member?
I doubt it.
You doubt?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to
Yeah. I don't know.
Breaker
Just trying to see where they're going with it because I'm like,
yeah, Breaker doesn't need a group. Like that's some of those things. Like he's too good on his own.
Yeah, I just don't know. I was just trying to figure out where they're going because it was like I don't know if you saw the segment where it was like Dom told Priest that he got on a match for the Intercontinental title, and then as like Damon Priest was walking away, Liv Morgan asked Dom how come he just didn't get the shot for himself, and he kind of had like a little smirky remark. And I was like, yeah. So I figured like he had something planned or something.
I think Dom is gonna run Finn out of the Judgment Day. I try to take over the Judgment Day because he's been pushing these last few weeks to add a new member, and Finn's like, we don't need a new member.
Yeah.
So I think this is like Dom's way of, getting Finn getting the shit kicked out of him. This is why putting him in there with Braun Breaker. And I think it's honestly it's gonna lead to Finn versus Dom. Like we're gonna Finn versus Dom at WrestleMania, and it'll probably be like loser leaves Judgment Day or control the Judgment Day or something.
Winner gets Liv or something.
Then we'll see something will happen and maybe Carlito will get involved and cost Finn the match or whoever they bring in like this new member and they debut at Mania and cost Finn the match. Like here's something. Yeah. Who knows? It'll be a psychosis.
Was there anything else on Raw? It was like a 3-hour show, so we gotta.
I honestly don't remember a whole lot. I know.
Fucking Jey Uso got attacked by Gunther.
Oh yeah.
And his match with Grayson Waller put his ass to sleep. Logan Paul wanted to join The Rock. I guess I don't know. You see that?
Yeah. I mean, he would fit with them. So,
but we're getting him and AJ Styles at WrestleMania, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
What else happened? We had the qualifying match for the Intercontinental title. The women's Intercontinental title. I'm trying to remember who won. Was it Bailey or Raquel?
Shit, I don't even remember.
I think I went to the restroom or something because I can't remember who won. Oh well. We just do a podcast.
I don't think it was Bailey. I think Raquel might have won with like outside interference.
Okay. Probably. So at least they have a. I mean, they're not gonna have title matches. Like at least they can have contenderships. Oh man, maybe we'll get the first defense at WrestleMania. No, she defended the other night,
Yeah,
didn't
she
she?
defended it. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago
Yeah.
against Dakota.
It just hasn't been. I don't know. Like Chelsea Green is doing a lot better with the U.S. title than.
Yeah.
It's one
Yeah,
of those things. Like, I think they should have.
Raquel won.
They should have. They should have just like held off on it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of get momentum going. But yeah, we shall see what happens.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
Raquel won that match. Number one contender. So
Yeah.
she'll face Io. Or not Io,
Yeah.
Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
And we called it because we had the kind of the face off between Io, Rhea, and Bianca.
Yeah, you called it. I didn't call it. Remember, I was like, no, they shouldn't
That's
do
right.
it.
So they're going back and forth. It was Io and Bianca. Then Rhea came out, and then all three of them are going back and forth. And then it got heated between Rhea and Bianca, and they just kept pushing Io out the way like she didn't exist. So Io got pissed and slapped both of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, triple threat definitely for that World Women's Championship, Women's World Championship. I'm excited for that one. Like that's a match I want to see.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have to see when I see it.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. You throw Io Sky in there with Rhea and Bianca because we've gotten great singles matches between the three of them, especially like Io versus Rhea, Io versus Bianca. I think the three of them would be awesome together.
But yeah, Raw was
good. Raw was pretty good. NXT was great. You said it pissed you off.
It was good. It was good, but I hated it the whole time.
Oh man, the show kicked off with the Hardys defending the tag team championships against Fraxium. Of course,
really good.
The win on that one. That was a great tag match. Loved it. The Hardys,
Jordan Grayson.
Hardys are so good. Like obviously Matt doesn't move as well as he used to. Jeff doesn't move as well as he used to. But given the ball and letting them run with it, like they still perform. They still, the fans still engage with them. Like they're still as over as they've ever been. So.
Yeah, even if they do have balls,
AEW really dropped the ball with them.
Yeah,
not utilizing them a little bit more. So, Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez, another awesome matchup on here.
Yeah, and then the match that pissed me off was like, one, why do we have this as a fucking third match? Like. I mean, I understand the main event was title versus title, but
yeah,
to me, this maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm just delusional. I'm the only person that knows who Moose is. I'm the only person that thinks he deserves to be on the main event. To me, that this should have been on Stand to Deliver or WrestleMania. I've already spoke out about that. It shouldn't have been a fucking televised match on fucking CW. I was pissed off at fucking Booker T because he didn't do his research on Moose. I was like, oh yeah, this guy's been waiting 5 years for this. Like, no, he's fucking Moose. Like, he's not been waiting fucking 5 years for this. He's held fucking titles, Booker T. God damn.
That's the
And
thing is, like, Moose was wrestling when Booker T was in TNA. Like, Moose wasn't
yeah,
in TNA, but he was in Ring of Honor. So, I mean,
yeah. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just like the whole thing pissed me off, like, because I felt like these two guys deserve better than what they got. Like, this should have been the main event. We should have had some kind of build to this and made it the spectacle that it should have been instead of it just being a fucking televised match on CW with fucking commercials. That's another thing that pissed me off too. Is like every time we got good, it went to a fucking commercial.
I think if this wasn't going to be the main event, I think it should have started the show. Because those are those are the two positions you want to be in on the card. Is either first or last.
No, it should have been the fucking main event. If it was on NXT, only way this should have been the main event is if it was on WrestleMania. Then you could have it, open. But yeah, like I don't know, two of the best wrestlers going right now, and we got them fucking third on the fucking card. We got goddamn John Cena at fucking WrestleMania. Fucking bullshit.
Oh man, I agree with you. It should have been. I think with this card though, the Stephanie Vaquera and Julia, I think was the better story, and I think that's why they put it as the main event.
The title
Oba and Moose should have been on a pay-per-view, an actual pay-per-view, not a Tuesday night NXT special.
But to me, like, I don't see all the hype for Julia. Julia is not that good. Like, I don't understand the hype for her.
I like Julia, but I always kind of let down a little bit because they had all that hype bringing her in. And honestly, I like Stephanie Vaquera more. Like, I've seen she wrestles more often than Julia does.
She's better, got better moveset.
Yeah, between the two of them, Stephanie's been on NXT just about every week in a match, where Julia hasn't really been on TV every week in a match. So,
the Javon Evans Ethan Page match was really good.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Javon Evans is one of those guys where when he first showed up on NXT TV, it's like, what is this dude? Like, he's like a stick figure. But then when he actually gets going in the ring and he's wrestling, the dude is amazing. And on top of that, he's from North Carolina. So he is a local dude. So we got to support the local guys. So props to Javon Evans and Ethan Page for that match. That street fight was freaking awesome. So,
yeah.
And Javon Evans picked up the win. Like, how much more do you want out of that match? It was awesome. It's a great matchup. And even Stephanie Vaquera and Julia, I like the match. I thought it was good. Stephanie Vaquera picked up the win, and she is now NXT Women's Champion along with the North American Champion. This was not a unification match. It was just title versus title. So I know people were getting all up in arms and stuff because they thought it was a unification match. They're like, that North American women's title hasn't even been around for like 2 years, and now they're unifying it with the women's title. It's like, no, they're not. Like, they never said it was a unification match. It's title versus title. So which means they'll either let her keep both titles, or they'll have her vacate one. Kind of like the same thing that they did with Hogan and Warrior when Warrior won.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It was a good match. It was a good match, but it's like you can't serve me salad after I just had pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you
No
mean.
matter how good that salad is. You know, it just
Yeah. Oh, awesome. So we'll get the fallout from Roadblock this week. This week's NXT. Next week's NXT. Jesus. Today's Friday. So the next edition of NXT, we should get the Roadblock. The fallout from that as we build into
send deliver.
so. AEW this week. We had one of our other cage matches with Revolution. I need to pull that up.
Revolution was uh long for sure, but it's one of those things where I could have been like in a more positive mood because, like I said, I stopped on the Tony Storm RMA match,
Yeah.
which was just enough wrestling, and I went to bed, stoked, and then watched the uh, rest of it Monday when I got off work. And then, I mean, the matches that followed too were still pretty good. Um, you had it opened with MJF and Adam Page. Uh, you know, you're going to get a good match with both of them.
Yeah.
This actually had like a little bit of story going with it. So it was really good. After that, what did you have after that? Mercedes Monet and uh, what's the lady's name that she wrestled?
Momo Watanabe.
Momo Wannabe.
Watanabe wants to be the TBS champion.
Yeah. This was a good match. Both women, wrestled their heart out, but it was just one of those things where, like, there wasn't much of like a storyline. It was just kind of thrown together. You knew Momo wasn't going to win. She had like a snowball's chance in hell of winning. Uh, it was a good match. It just, for all intents and purposes, they could have cut it if they wanted a shorter show or something.
Yeah.
Then after that, you had my most anticipated match coming in, the Swerve Strickland Ricochet match for the number one
This was
contendership.
number one contender.
Yeah, number one contendership. Uh, it was great, man. Pretty much like everything you wanted in a match. It was there.
So I did see. I didn't get a chance to watch this. I did see. You scroll through TikTok, you see highlights and stuff like that. YouTube and everything. Ricochet, since becoming this heel, especially with this feud with Swerve, has put on some of the best matches I have seen out of him since NXT.
Yeah.
No. And I think it's just like, especially with someone like Swerve, that's going to bring you up to, that's going to make you work at that next level anyway. And the same with Ricochet. Like if you get in there with someone that's gonna be able to match your level and make you go higher, or you take them higher, elevate them. And you saw this, at least from what I saw from those clips and stuff, you saw this with the two of them in this matchup.
Yeah. And another thing he kind of did, and which is props to him, is he kind of, it's like, when you're dealt, not that bad, I won't say dealt like a bad hand, but he pretty much got shit when he first got to AEW, right? Like,
Yeah.
try to shoot promos. People are making. I mean, we even talked about it on the podcast, but they're shitting on him. But he was able to take that and turn it into a character. You know what I mean? Uh,
Absolutely.
and that's what it's all about. Like to me, I was one of those people that was like one of the naysayers. I'm like, yeah, like he went to AEW. They're fucking. He can't talk on the mic or whatever. And he's like, well, I'm gonna take that awkwardness, turn it into a character. Everybody's hate me anyways, so I'm gonna be this like evil psychopath character. And it's been good. I was kind of nervous about it being with Ricochet. No, not Ricochet. He is Ricochet. But Swerve, 'cause I was like, Ricochet kind of needs some wins. But it was actually pretty good. Like, great storyline, great match. I'm glad that Swerve is in the title picture, and if
Oh, me too.
Tony Khan has any fucking ounce of common sense, and he wants to have a successful promotion, I'm begging you, please put the title back on Swerve Strickland. Like he's fucking fire. You had this is when we was talking about the thing with NXT. The same thing with this pay per view. You had uh, 3 to 4 matches here of young up and coming talent that could be the main event status, but you have 2 old guys that people don't really care to see as your main event. Or 3 old guys. I don't know if you saw what happened when you said you saw highlights.
Yeah,
But
I saw that.
um, then you had the Okada Brody King match, which was another one of those matches that didn't really have a storyline or anything. You probably could have cut it out, but both guys are hell of an athlete. You know what I mean? Like it was a good match. It's just like I knew Brody King wasn't going to win or anything. So like the same thing I said about the Mercedes Moné match. It was like she was winning, so she came out there. Same thing with Okada. Um, the tag team match, I heard everybody shit on it. To me, I loved it. Sometimes you need this, like on a pay per view, where you just have, a team come out and just fucking wreck the other team.
I mean, you have a team of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect them to do? Like, just go hold for hold and chain wrestle? I mean, I like the Outriders, and they probably could have put up a little bit more of a fight in this match instead of getting squashed. But I mean, it's the Hurt Syndicate. Like, they hurt people.
Yeah.
They're all about going out there, winning titles and getting checks cashed. Like,
And then to like whether you want to like think about it like this or not, it kind of does elevate the titles. Because if you think about like some of the bigger tag teams like Legion of Doom,
yeah,
like they come out and they wreck, all these like tag teams, but then you put them in a feud, like with a storyline with another tag team, and then you have like your longer, drawn out matches, and it makes the match so much more. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's just you have to find a team that's going to be on their level, that's going to be able to compete with them. And the Outrunners aren't slouches, but Leo Rush and Action Andretti is not the team to compete with the Hurt Syndicate. So that's because I got a note here. I'm looking at AEW's website for the results, and it says Leo Rush and Action Andretti are watching from the front row. Like, there's no chance in hell that those two should be beating the Hurt Syndicate for the tag titles, let alone even being near a match with the tag titles, as long as the Hurt Syndicate have. Oh.
Yeah, no, I think they squashed them too. And then you get like a team like FTR or some, like a tag team that has some standing, and then you could have a longer match that, everybody would want to see. And then I would say probably match of the night, probably storyline of the year. Thomas Tony Storm and Myra May, and a fucking, I don't know what the stipulation technically was. Like, was it a street fight?
It was. I'm assuming it was a no DQ type street fight match, because all it is, it's a Hollywood ending match, and that's all it says.
Yeah, it was this fucking Hollywood ended for sure. That was fucking brutal. Like, I haven't seen a match that damn brutal in like a while. And they're talking about getting out glass. We were talking about glass earlier. Like, yeah, they got it out there, and it was bloody. And if you're not into that type of matches, you still probably like it because, like I said, it had story to it. But it's just like a hell of a way to end the feud. You know what I mean? And then at the end, the video board, the end, like pop, like like the end of the story. A lot of people, myself included, was like, "Yeah, this should have been the main event. Like that would have been the perfect ending to the night." But well, for me, it was. That's why, like I said, I probably enjoyed it more than I would if I watched it all the way through. But yeah, it was a crazy,
so the
match.
finish to this, basically saw Tony beat the shit out of Mariah with a shoe, which flashes back to the night where Mariah turned on Tony Storm after winning the Owen Hart women's tournament and beating her with the shoe. And then that led to Tony hitting the code 0 through a table and picking up the win on that.
Yeah.
But this is something that I need to go back and watch, because this was probably one of the few matches on this actual pay-per-view that I really wanted to see, and I just did not have time to watch it at all this week. So I find some time this weekend to go back and watch that. But
yeah. Then you had Kenny Omega and Takesha.
Yep. As Omega worked his way through the Callis family, at least everyone that helped put him out.
Yeah.
And I think Takesha was the final boss for the Callis family.
Yeah. And it was another like long match. But it was good. A good. It's like one of those things where they changed pace from the Tony Storm Myra May match, but it was like a good change of pace. You know what I mean? Like really good. And it's another one of those matches that you probably could have made main event because the story going into it was better than whatever John Moxley has been talking about for the last few months. And then the cage match. Did you see anything from that?
I saw the was it the Hurricane Rana? Was it
No, it wasn't Hurricane Rana. It wasn't Hurricane Rana. was shit. What's that move called?
Oh, Spanish Fly.
Spanish? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, off the well, actually, let's back it up. Something they did that was pretty cool. A lot of people said it was corny. I thought it was pretty cool. Is both of them did kind of like a stare down across from each like uh across from each other on top of the cage.
Yeah.
Like when the match started, I thought that was pretty cool. Some people thought it was corny, but yeah, it it got wild. Another bloody ass match. Uh, with some outside interference, screwdriver, thumbtacks, uh, baseball with barbed wire. It was pretty bloody.
And the matches like
Uh,
this and Mariah May and Tony Storm are the ones that make sense to have the blood, because you're looking at, Osprey and Fletcher. You're looking at two friends, that Kyle Fletcher got it in his head that he's just been in Osprey's shadow this entire time, and
yeah,
of course that it's not, has a lot to do with Don Callis being his manager. And then you just look at everything with Mariah May and Tony Storm. It's just like it had to be in there. Like these two women
and it was
just
the
had to beat the shit out of each other.
and it was like this is like their second or third match with each other, right?
Yeah.
Third, yeah. So and it was like you're ending the feud in a cage, like, and then you have probably like one of the biggest spots of the night, uh, with the Spanish Fly off the top of the cage. Like, I don't know. It's like, how do you have another match after that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then
It doesn't.
they tried to. And it kind of flopped. So
And
I did see
didn't
quite
know.
a bit of highlights from this match. Moxley and Cope. I did see Christian attempt to win the world title by cashing in his contract, only to get choked out by Moxley.
He showed up in a hood. Everybody thought it was the bloodline. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know. Like, I'm kind of, there's a lot of people that are still praising this Death Riders thing as like one of the best stories in AEW right now. It's one of the only few stories that they have running right now to begin with. But it just doesn't seem like that there's any type of direction for it. I really want to win, at least Cope to win this match to get the title off of Moxley so we can move into something else.
Yeah, we had. We had storylines like in the night. That's what I'm saying. Like the storylines they did have, like, are better than this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you had.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, because Mariah May and Tony Storm was like the best thing AEW had running storyline wise.
Yeah, yeah, for
Even
sure.
like Fletcher and Osprey, like,
Yeah,
was a lot better than this. So MJF and
Yep.
Hangman seem to be better.
Swerve and Ricochet.
Swerve and Ricochet turned out to be pretty solid. So
Yeah,
I just don't know where they're going with this or how long they're going to keep this going, because this is definitely not as compelling as the Bloodline. And I know you can't really compare the two, but I mean,
yeah. To me, like, the whole Christian thing, like, didn't make sense. It's like, why don't you just wait till the match is over to cash in? You know what I mean? Like, do you have to cash in during the match? Like,
I kind of look at it like this. Like, I think Christian saw that Edge was down or Cope was down, and it just kind of got to him like, I can go in there now and pin him and win this title, and I can brag that I pinned Cope to win this championship. And
Yeah.
I think that's what the motivation behind that was.
Yeah. I mean, Swerve attacked. Swerve did like a moonsault type thing on Mock. So to me, I don't know. You gotta put the title on Swerve. Like
Absolutely.
you got to. He's like the best thing you get going in your company.
Yeah, you cannot drag this out until Darby comes back, because that would be the best ending to this Death Rider thing would be Darby beating Moxley.
I mean, I thought that at first. But now it's like I don't know, because it's like Moxley's not. I mean, I guess Swerve will be the first one, but it's like, are you gonna really have Swerve lose to Moxley? It's like Moxley hasn't really taken out anybody. You know what I mean? Like, no, he's not going after the good. You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't gone after Swerve. He hasn't gone after Will Ospreay. He hasn't gone after.
He hasn't really gone off that after some, like you're saying, like some of the other top guys. Like he's not, like he's targeting like specific people. And it hasn't been Swerve, hasn't been Ospreay, MJF,
when NWO
after Hangman.
Yeah.
So
when NWO, you know, went heel, they were going after the top guy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you go after the people that are the biggest opposition for you, and that's your top guys. You don't go after, like, yeah, they beat up the Luchadors, like they beat up El Dandy how many times in the course of a month, but still, they're still taking out like Goldberg and Sting and Luger, DDP, like, you know, and that's the thing is like these guys are just going after like the low card talent. So I think Cope was probably the first like big dog that kind of, you know, fought back and like actually had a better chance of winning compared to some of the other ones. So.
Yeah, but still, he's kind of, you know, way past his prime.
Yeah. But I'd much rather see Swerve get that title. I don't want him to, like I said, I don't want him dragging it out till Darby comes back just from doing his Mount Everest thing. Like, put it on someone that's a little more compelling. You know, and Swerve is definitely that person right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So that brings us into Dynamite this week. We're kind of wondering.
I didn't see Dynamite.
Okay. Looking at some of the stuff, you kind of wonder, like, okay, so Mariah May and Toni Storm are done. Where does Toni go from here? We kind of got that answer because Megan Bain took her out. So,
okay.
Not only did she take out Toni Storm, but she also took out Willow and Chris Statlander. So Megan Bain is asserting her dominance in the women's division, and I'm here for it. I like Megan Bain. So
I like Megan Bain too.
Be an awesome matchup.
To me, I thought they would go Mercedes Moné. Like that's kind of the bridge they're gonna have to cross at one point or another.
At some point.
And since Toni Storm is kind of face now, it makes sense. Well, I guess I don't know. Is Sasha Banks? Mercedes Moné, is she heel or is she face? Because everybody chants CEO when she comes out, but then she acts like a heel.
I think she's kind of. I think she's heel, or maybe like a tweener type thing. But
yeah,
she does. She acts very heelish in most cases, but like it's at the point now where like a lot of the AEW roster, it's like they all get cheered at some point. So
yeah, it's just one of those things where like you gotta put her against someone that either can beat her, or at least people think can beat her. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like don't get me wrong, like she's had some really good matches. It's just there's nobody she's versed where you're like, oh, they're gonna beat Mercedes Monet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Even though
if you're going there
really
into
pushing
this title collector Goldberg type person that's undefeated, like you got to.
Harley Cameron to get the win though, but knew that wasn't going to happen. Yeah. So we had that. So we had Megan Bain. Harley Cameron came out with just part of this tag team match with Will Hobbs and Hologram taking on Cage and the Beast Mortos. But she came out as Harley Graham, which she's done in the past. She did Harley Graham at the All Lucha episode of, I think it's Rampage, and she's done it another time.
Yeah.
But we go from her being, a contender to Mercedes Monet to now wearing a mask randomly for some tag team match that she didn't have anything to do with to begin with.
Well, we saw the same thing on Raw, and it worked.
But she came out there as a valet, like she wasn't actually in the match. So she was a valet.
Well, I mean, neither was Americano Express. So,
well, my thing is,
but he interfered in the tag team match. No.
But she didn't interfere in the match. She was just a valet. She was a manager.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Like Harley Cameron is entertaining as shit. She's over as hell by herself. Why does she need to be out there with some random Rey Mysterio wannabe and Will Hobbs? Like, she don't need to be out there. Give her something else to do. Just have her talk backstage for 2 minutes. Like, something. Like, she didn't need to be out there for that.
They said hologram is everything that Ray Phoenix wishes he could be, or something. That's what I heard to the grapevine.
I don't like hologram. I don't think he's that good. So.
Yeah, I don't care for him either.
It's like pretty much watching every other luchador on AEW's roster. What else we have? They started the number one contender tournament for Kenny Omega. So one of the matches was a wild card match against. Oh, it was the Beast Mortos was in the singles match, not in the tag team match. I got that mixed up. I don't remember who was in the tag match.
I didn't see it, so
yeah. Speedball Mike Bailey made his debut. We've been getting video packages for him for a couple weeks now, and he was the wild card entrant in this tournament, and he picked up the win over the Beast Mortos. That's right. Mortos was at ringside for this matchup, for that tag match. That's why I thought he was in the match. So. He's up there with whatever guy was out there. I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's not important. Oh, yeah. So that was pretty cool. And probably the biggest thing to come out of Dynamite this week, MJF was in the ring talking about his loss to Hangman, and out comes MVP.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So they're going back and forth a little bit, and the MVP's talking to him. He's like, when I first met you, over 10 years ago, you're just this, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid. Like, you volunteered to drive me to the airport or something, and like, you didn't ask for payment. Like, the only thing you wanted, you just wanted to know if you could ask me some questions about the business. He's like, and we had a good drive, had a great conversation. He's like, then I saw you again, maybe 4 years later. He's like, and he looked at him, he's like, I'm proud of you. Proud of everything you've accomplished, everything else. But he's like, you're not the same MJF. and they're going through all this stuff. He's like, you want to get back to that world title? Then this is the path to do it. And he hands him a business card. And MJF turns him down at first. Kind of tells him, like, I don't need your help or anything like that. So MVP tells him, he's like, just think about it. He's like, just think on it. And he hands him the business card again. So, that business card's an offer to join the syndicate. And that offer's not made twice. So, could we get MJF as part of the Hurt Syndicate? Or will we get like some kind of feud with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate?
I think they're going to end up with a feud. But that would be cool if he did join. But I think we're going to end up with a feud. I think this is probably how like you introduce like Cedric Alexander or somebody.
Hopefully, but either way, I thought it was pretty cool. It was a good segment. Anytime you get MVP on the mic, and just let him loose is good TV for me. So I'm good with that.
Yep.
What else we have going on here?
I watched Evolve.
You watch what? Oh, Evolve.
Evolve. Yeah. I didn't watch this week's episode. I watched it. I didn't watch it live. I think it comes on like Wednesdays or Thursdays or something.
Okay.
But I watched it on Sunday. I watched the first episode. It was decent for what it was.
Right.
Well, you just gonna say about TNA, but
it's a lot of I was gonna say Sacrifice is going on right now. Which of course has Moose versus Jeff Hardy in the ladder match for the X Division Championship. So all that's happening. You have a lot of good matches on this card for tonight. You have a 10-man tag match inside a steel cage. So I'm sure this will be the main event. It's Joe Hendry, Matt Hardy, Elijah, Leon Slater, and Nick Nemeth taking on the team of the System and the Colognes. So I'm sure that's going to be a very awesome matchup. Watch tonight. And on top of that, like I said, you have Moose versus Jeff Hardy in a ladder match for the X Division.
Jeff Hardy, yeah. Yep, you had me at Moose and then Jeff Hardy. And then ladder. And it makes it all better.
And then you got the cross promotional match here: Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, and Ace Austin versus NXT's Wesley, Tyson DuPont, and Tyreek.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I think Cora Jade is supposed to wrestle Masha Slamovich on here too, but I'm not 100% sure if that's still going because of Cora's injury. Oh no, it did happen.
It did happen.
Yep.
But I'm going to catch it. I'll probably catch it tomorrow morning.
Yeah. I just want to see one of these titles change hands during one of these matches.
I don't think it is ever.
I don't think so either. Like, I would love it. Like, I think it'd be cool. So,
I mean, the only way I see it happening, which I don't know if he even wants to do it, is having like maybe like AJ Styles win the TNA title or something.
Yeah, he was on AJ was on Chris Van Vliet's podcast. And he said that he wants to do some work with TNA, go back and do some stuff with TNA while they got this partnership going. He said he's totally open to do whatever they need him to do. So should be cool. Excited for that. See if that actually happens. So. All right, so that's the instant replay. Let's go ahead and hop over to the Elite Figure of the Week. Brought to you by EntertainmentEarth.com. Use code FTCollect to save 10% off all in-stock items. All right, and the Elite Figure of the Week this week is Mattel Legends Series 4. Back into the archives for this one. George the Animal Steel. And he comes with mine. Okay. So, pretty cool figure. It was definitely one of my favorites from the Mattel series. The only downside with this, he's got painted on chest hair. Or I've got a Jack's Classic Superstars one that actually has flock chest hair. So you can actually feel it. But they didn't do his back on that one. They just... No, actually they did. He's got the flocked hair all over him. I remember now. So pretty cool. Of course, the classic green tongue. The only thing that this figure did not come with that they could have included in here was a ripped open turnbuckle.
Yeah.
What's cool?
I think you know more about George Evans still than I do. I mean, his last was kind of hard.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's funny too because like he has a degree. I believe he got his degree from Harvard. The man's actually pretty damn smart. He wrestled a bear at one point in his career. So, of course, a member of the Oddities group there for a little bit. Had a pretty good feud with Macho Man Randy Savage, which led to Savage's feud with Ricky Steamboat, obviously, which led to the WrestleMania 3 match. So he's been around, did some things, been involved in some stuff. So.
Yeah. He's been champion of a few wrestling promotions.
Yep.
I don't think it was ever WWE. At least none that I can remember. But I think he's been like NWA champion or something, right?
I think so. Awesome stuff there. So that's the George the Animal Steel Legend Series 4. The first one, actually, the first George Steel to come with the little mine plushie.
Yeah.
So the Jax one came with a baseball bat or a club or a turkey leg or something. I don't remember what it was. It was something like completely ridiculous. It's probably a turkey leg. All right, awesome stuff. All right, let's get into the Fatal 4-Way. All right, Fatal 4-Way this week is a little bit different. Well, they've all been kind of different, but I went with WWE music composers / producers. So you sit there in the top left of your screen is Jim Johnston. Across from that, of course, is Jimmy Hart. Below Jimmy Hart is CFO Money, and underneath Jim Johnston is Def Rebel. So, which one's got to go?
I don't know, Chris. He should be eliminated.
I figured this one would be an easy one this week. So.
Yeah.
My answer is Def Rebel because all their shit sounds the same.
Yeah. Have they had a good entrance thing?
I cannot remember if they're solely responsible for EO Sky's music or if CFO Money did it first and they just kind of retweaked it. But that might be the only decent one that they've done.
Yeah. I think like the real question is who's better, Jimmy Hart or Jim Johnson?
Right? Oh, that's kind of a tough one because Jimmy Hart put in
Yeah,
some pretty iconic songs for WCW. And of course, Jim
yeah.
Johnson did a lot of iconic stuff for WWF.
Jimmy Hart also did some stuff for Memphis too. Uh, like Jerry, I think like Jerry Lawyer's album. Uh, uh, I'm trying to think who else had albums. Jimmy Valent. I think that was Jimmy Hart, right?
Yeah.
Did he write any for WWE? I would assume so, right? Like, ain't no way you have
Jimmy Hart.
uh,
Unless he did, like, the only thing I probably think of that he may have done would have been like the Honky Tonk Man stuff. Because that was very Jimmy Hartish as far as like the music and the production and stuff.
yeah. I would think he would did some for WWF, but because I mean, like they had a son for to more than just uh they had to do for just more than just being I mean, he was a good manager, but let me see if I can find anything. Oh, never mind. I thought it was gonna be a list, but it wasn't a list. It's just like somebody said they talked to Jimmy Hart about all the stuff he produced. It's like, dude, it'd be nice if you would have like gave us a list of what he said he produced.
Let's see. He did Dusty's theme.
Yeah, okay. The
Ted
American
DiBiase,
Dream.
yeah,
Yeah, so
Common Man Boogie. Sexy Boy.
that's Jimmy Hart.
That's Jimmy Hart.
I thought that was Jim Dart. Oh, okay, so then fucking all the ones I'm giving credit, Jimmy Hart has to be the best one then.
Oh, there's a lot. Oh, are all these? Yeah, Jimmy Hart has 69 songs, and the most popular being Sexy Boy and the Wolfpack theme.
Two of the greatest of fucking all time.
Yeah, so he's got Sexy Boy, Wolfpack, Ted DiBiase's theme,
Money.
Honky Tonk Man, Rap is Crap, The
Oh,
Demolition.
you wrote that?
Yep. American Made, Hogan's WCW theme. Disco Inferno's theme.
I don't care about that.
Buff Daddy, Buff Bagwell's theme.
Oh, Buff, that. Okay, all right. I like that one.
What else do you have? Damn.
They need to get like a Jimmy Hart album.
He did the Coco Beware theme. He did the Legion of Doom theme. Dungeon of Doom. Eddie Guerrero. Public Enemy, Misfits in Action, Bret Hart, American Males, Superfly, Jimmy Snuka's theme, Hugh Morris, Alex Wright's theme, Nasty Boys, The Natural Born Thrillers, The Young Stallions. Damn. The Repo Man's theme, The Rockers, High Energy, Beefcake's theme, Earthquake, Orient Express, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Oh, good Lord. Damn, Jimmy Hart. Remix Pop and Circumstance for the Macho Man for WCW. Rick Steiner, Medusa's 2000 theme. I did not realize majority of these were Jimmy Hart, especially some of those early WWF themes I thought were Johnston.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's probably the greatest of all time. And then he has the fucking the Gentries or whatever they were called.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, he
Creamy
did
and
3
one
counts. He's responsible for 3 counts.
for
Can't get you
13.
out of my heart.
Dude, yeah, he's definitely the greatest.
Oh, man. That's awesome. Jimmy Hart, man.
They need like a fucking Jimmy Hart album. Like, you know how like, he had like the thing, like this is like a Jimmy Hart like greatest hits.
Absolutely. He did Sting's 1999 theme.
He's got to be in the Hall of Fame, ain't he, right?
Jimmy Hart?
Yeah.
I think so. He did the music for Savage and Miss Elizabeth's wedding. Man. He did Macho Man's 99 theme, the What Up Mach. Oh, man, Jimmy Hart, you are an idol. Like, that's freaking awesome.
And then one of the greatest managers, you know what I mean? Like, didn't they induct him as like a manager, a fucking songwriter? He used to do in Nashville. There was Bell. I can't remember the name of the company, but there's like a bail bonds, and then they had Jimmy Hart on their commercials. That's always funny. It was like Bailey's Bail Bonds or something.
Well, the guy that I work with, his brother that runs the promotion out in Clayton, I guess has a pretty good relationship with Jimmy Hart too.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's awesome. So, all right, so there we go. We're getting rid of Def Rebel, and Jimmy Hart is, according to
Now
us, the greatest composer of all time. So,
yeah, for sure. To me, like not only like Shawn Michaels one of my favorite wrestlers, right? Like, I think everybody knows that. But like his theme is like probably like one of the more iconic theme. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like traditional. Like, don't get me wrong. There's wrestlers that have themes that are written by actual artists that people know outside of wrestling. But as far as like wrestling themes, like that were written specifically for wrestlers, like that's probably got to be the biggest, like most known, right?
absolutely, that one and Legion of Doom, like that's iconic. So
Yeah, but that's just the intro. Like if you didn't have the intro, people would know that was Legion of Doom. Like if it wasn't like,
well,
oh,
Bret
what
Hart
a rush, huh?
did Bret Hart's theme too.
Bret Hart, yeah.
But even with that, like the guitar riff in the beginning, so
Yeah.
so awesome. Jimmy Hart is the man. All right, well, let's get into No Holds Barred. Our Redbubble stores. Check out redbubble.com/people/WrestlingAgainPod and buy some awesome stuff. Buy the shirt. Buy it.
Buy that shit.
Okay, so Disney dropped the trailer for the live action Lilo and Stitch movie. I am not disappointed. It looks pretty good. A lot of people are complaining because they show Bleakley, the skinny alien, in drag. When he is putting on like his human disguise thing. So, but Stitch looks amazing. They did a great job recreating him. The little girl they got playing Lilo is fantastic. Like the whole thing just looks great, and I think I'll be going to theater to see that one. Looks pretty good.
I haven't watched it yet, but my wife subscribed to Hulu so we could watch the Bill Burr special.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm either gonna watch it either tonight or probably tomorrow. Speaking of Van Fleet, did you see the Scott Steiner podcast?
Yeah, I did. I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw the clips and stuff for it. But apparently Steiner invented the 450.
Yeah, I didn't believe it until I saw it.
I saw the video clip of it, but there's some other people that are saying that someone had did it before him outside of the US.
Yeah, I don't know. He claims he invented it in the Hurricane Rana. So
Yep. I think maybe he may have been the one to introduce it into the US. But I think somebody had done it before him outside of the US.
but did you hear his story about Hulk Hogan?
I think I caught part of it.
Okay. Yeah, that was my I guess like kind of first time hearing about it, but apparently uh Scott kind of I guess held uh some resentment against Hogan towards like his end of his run on TNA or whatever. So he told people, if he saw Hogan again, that he was going to slap him. And then
Yeah.
I guess like he said that he was friends with like Macho Man, and like Macho Man was telling him some of the stories about Hogan or whatever. So he said like he was upset when he found out that Hogan was going to induct him into the Hall of Fame or whatever. And I guess like he saw Hogan's wife at the airport and said that said something about he said something about Hogan, but anyway, Hogan and his wife called the police, and I guess said that Scott Steiner had slapped her and threatened to kill Hulk Hogan or something like that. So the police had to get the like video footage from the airport.
Let's see. I found the transcript from the podcast. He's talking about Hogan politicking the WCW to keep the younger talent down.
Yeah.
He said something like they were arrested. There was a Nitro in Buffalo, and Steiner knew who he had to wrestle, but 10 minutes before the show was to go on the air. He didn't know if it was going to happen or not. They had to wait for Hogan to get to the building and clear it. And he said, yeah, you can do what they have written down. So it's just shit like that is what he was saying. And then talking about all the stuff with TNA, like you were just talking about.
Yeah.
And he's saying, talking about Hogan's wife. He's like, I finally remembered meeting her. So I went up to her and said, "Are you Hulk Hogan's wife?" She said, "Yeah." And at that point, he was going to induct Savage into the Hall of Fame, which was bullshit. So I told her that. And I told her he was a piece of shit for that whole situation. And I was going to slap the shit out of him. Nobody heard me. It was very low key. I didn't raise my voice or anything. Grabbed my bags and left. Well, she called Hogan. He came to the airport. And then he called the San Jose Police Department. Says I slapped her and threatened to kill him. Well, that's terroristic threats and aggravated assault. So I got a call from the San Jose Police Department. He's like, he was on TMZ and stuff. Luckily, it happened at the airport because there's so many cameras. Otherwise, it would have been her and him against me. And it would have been a tough case in court. But since it was on camera, so the San Jose Police Department, police don't bother me anymore. It's on camera, and they stopped.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, damn, dude. But yeah, it was like he's talking about Hogan getting food in LA. He's like, yeah, I got food. He's like, why that he deserved?
Oh man, because he still thinks Steiner says that we all saw a glimpse of the real Hogan when he'd had his racist tirade was caught on tape. So Van Vliet asked him, "You're still not good with Hogan to this day." He's like, "I mean, what am I gonna do now? But I don't forget, there's a reason why he got booed in California. All the stuff that came out with him, the racist comments. Now you would never have found that out if it wasn't recorded behind closed doors. So I think a lot of people realize the perception that WWE or WCW wanted of Hulk Hogan was not really him. He's like, so I was good friends with Savage, so I knew all the stories.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's talking about his son has been talking to Braun Breaker, and
Ooh.
yeah, so maybe potential. It's still kind of up in the air because there's a good chance he could get drafted because he's been doing pretty well at football, but because they was asking him about how come Braun Breaker didn't use the Steiner name, and then he was like, "Well, Brock will use the Steiner name if he does it." So he's like, "I don't know if they'll let him use Brock." He's like, "I don't know if they'll let him use Brock, but he'd definitely be able to use Steiner."
Yeah, but that was all Breaker's decision, though. Like he chose not to use the Steiner name.
Yeah.
So, I personally would have, I kind of get that, trying to separate yourself from that, but we all know who you are.
Yeah, I mean they didn't shy away from saying it either. Like everybody knows who he belongs to.
I mean, especially when they had Rick and Scott there during his title wins and stuff, and things like that during NXT and a bunch of other stuff. So,
yeah. But I thought it was a pretty good podcast. It was interesting just getting his thing. He was talking about what was another thing that's pretty funny? He was talking about his freaks or whatever. He was like he's like yeah, he's like I was trying to be like a misogynist and get I was like it'd be like a heel thing to say or whatever because I'm trying to get heat. He's like, but then all those women loved it. And he's like, it didn't go too well for me.
Yeah, did you catch the part where how he got his chainmail headdress?
Yeah,
That cracked me up. He's like, yeah, I found it at a porn store. It's
yeah,
like you walked in there, we're getting some lingerie for the valets to wear, my freaks. So he's like, I saw the headdress. He's like, I gotta have that. So he's like, I worked
yeah,
TV that night. He's like,
yeah,
and it's the same one to still wear. So I was like, that's awesome.
yeah,
And Scott Steiner's
yeah,
great.
but yeah, it was pretty cool. Van Fleet, he has some pretty good guests on.
He is really good, like as far as like interviews and stuff. Like, I need to start listening to or watching these his podcast more.
Yeah, yeah, I saw the one with him and Jordan Grace. Uh, and then I want to say who else? He's had like so many people on. There's been a few that I've watched and
I
I
saw
thought
the
were
some clips from the AJ Styles one where they're talking about
I haven't.
his TNA theme because Van Vliet's was like a huge TNA guy.
Yeah,
And they're talking about that, and that's when AJ mentioned that he would love to do some work with TNA while they're doing this partnership.
yeah,
That's pretty cool. Pretty good stuff right there.
yeah.
There are some pretty solid horror movies coming out or that have already come out that I've come across some trailers for. One of them is on Max now. It's called The Parenting.
Okay.
Basically the rundown is say a couple rents a countryside house for a weekend with their parents and then discover it's inhabited by a 400-year-old poltergeist. So this is
Okay.
a comedy horror. It actually looks really good. So probably might check that out this weekend. And then there's another one coming out that looks freaking amazing. And seeing the trailers for it. I don't know if you've seen them yet, but it's the Woman in the Yard.
Uh-huh.
This looks really great. So basically, this one is a mysterious woman repeatedly appears in the family's front yard, often delivering chilling warnings and unsettling messages, leaving them to question her identity, motives. Where am I thinking? And a potential danger she might pose.
Like it.
So that one actually looks pretty good too. Yeah, it's a couple of really good horror movies out there. Shit, and I found the one that you were telling me about. I think we found the title for that one, didn't we? It was like
What
Brothers or
was it?
something. I don't remember. The one with the musician that like sells his soul to the devil or something.
Oh yeah. You saw it? Or you
I didn't see it. I found the trailer for it and I found the title.
uh yeah, the trailer looked really good for it. I think it's supposed to be like a vampire movie.
Oh, what was it? And I cannot remember. I don't remember where I saw it at. Or what the hell the name of the movie was. But it was on, I think it was on like a list of not a list, but one of those like YouTube videos that's like 30 minutes like movie trailers. So
Uh-huh.
So I found it on one
Yeah.
of those, but it actually looked pretty good. I cannot remember the damn name of the movie. So there's that. Some cool stuff to check out there. WWE 2K25 officially came out today. I've been playing it since last week, since I pre-ordered it. This is last year's game was pretty solid. This is a huge improvement over stuff from last year. I don't have like the PS4 version doesn't have like that island feature or anything like that, so I can't really speak to that portion of it. But they did add a lot more to universe mode, brought back promos. GM mode is actually pretty cool this year with the online capability as well. So I'm just waiting for Garrett to get his copy so I can kick his ass in GM mode.
My sister's kids, they get it. My niece sent me a text message today, like, we got 2K. And I was like, oh, I want to come visit y'all so I can play it.
It's really good. I like it. Of course, I got the Bloodline edition. So
yeah,
that got me all the DLC and everything. So
when that's probably what I don't know which one they got, but yeah, she texted me like, I'm playing with Jacob 5-2, and I'm like, okay.
Well, he's in the game like right off the bat,
yeah.
like him and Tomatonga, all that. The showcase mode is pretty cool. Go through that, and it's all Bloodline themed. So you're playing like different matches and stuff with different members of the Bloodline, right down to freaking Haku and the Tonga Kid as a tag team. The freaking Wild Samoans in the tables match against the Dudley Boys. It was like a fantasy matchup type thing, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
There's one point where you go through as Umaga and you're rewriting history and you defeat John Cena at New Year's Revolution for the WWE Championship. So a lot of cool stuff in there, and it's all the video footage and stuff in there is narrated by Paul Heyman, so you get like a lot of background and stuff on a lot of the Bloodline members and everything too, which is really cool. Especially hearing, coming from Heyman, who's pretty much been involved with his family since he's been in wrestling. So it's pretty awesome to hear his take on a lot of that stuff. So it's pretty cool so far.
Yeah.
Trying to get universe mode set up, and I don't know, thinking about maybe streaming my universe mode. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll have to start the WrestleGeddon Wrestling Federation again and create my belts and make a new Tennessee Jesus in there.
She's Shawn Michaels.
Great stuff this week. I don't think we got anything else going on wrestling wise or anything else.
Yeah.
Think
NFL free agency started, so there's been people moving around, but nothing really noteworthy.
Yeah. Awesome stuff there. All right. Well, I mean, that's everything I've got. You got anything?
I'm good, man.
All right. Cool. Well, I guess that's going to do it for us for this week then. So thank you guys for checking us out. As always, 176. We'll be back with you guys next week. Talk some more wrestling, some other fun stuff. We'll run down the results of Sacrifice and all other stuff. So make sure you guys follow us on all our social media outlets. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Hit up our TikTok. We are at over 300 followers TikTok right now. We're trying to build that brand up over there. Get that 1,000 so we can live stream on TikTok as well as Facebook and YouTube during the course of the week, or for our weekly shows anyway. Yeah, we're 303 followers, so we're getting there. Like the little engine that could, we're chugging along. Definitely hit us up over there. But that's pretty much it. So again, thank you guys for checking us out. We appreciate it. We'll be back with you guys next week. Later, Marks.
Later.